Welcome. So today I was planning on talking about brushes, but as I was having my coffee and getting all wired and thinking and stuff, I was like, brushes are boring. I don't want to talk about brushes today. I want to talk about something that is a little bit more interesting and I would say a lot more useful and helpful toward somebody's career in hair. So what I want to talk about is this concept of having enough, having your gas tank full. And so this whole idea came to me years ago. One of my clients who works in finances, he's like a advisor or whatever, and kind of tells rich people where to put their money to make it go further. He was talking to me and he asked me how much money it cost me to fill up my gas tank. So at the time I was driving like a tiny little Hyundai Accent and it cost like 28 bucks to fill it up. It was pretty great. But he asked me, hey, if you got a raise, would you start putting 50 bucks in the tank? And, you know, kind of baffled a little bit. I'm like, no, because it doesn't take $50 to fill it up. It can't fit $50. And he said, you need to know that figure for all of your finances. You need to know how much it costs you to do everything you like to do. And that was like a total aha moment for me. Like a big light bulb went on. And I realized, like, we know for dang sure how much money our gas tank costs to fill up. And we never try to set aside more money for that because we know there's the hard line there. The gas tank cannot take more than that. And so you don't worry yourself with trying to get excess gas money. You know how much gas you need. So I didn't immediately take that and apply it to other aspects of my business. I started thinking about many things in my life that way. How much do I need for this before I have too much for that? And I didn't at the time apply it to my clientele or my Instagram following. In those two areas, I was still kind of on a path that I feel like most of us get on, which is all you know is you want more. You get out of school and you don't leave school thinking, I need to find 200 clients. You leave school thinking, I need to get all the clients I can get. And then 10, 20 years into your career, a lot of times we're still just trying to get all we can get, trying to make more money, trying to get more clients, trying to get more followers. And so in so many of these aspects of my business, I didn't find that full mark, find that, well, how much do I need? You know, and at what point is there too much? And, you know, when you think about something like money, for example, like let's say we all bought lottery tickets and one of us won, you cannot picture a scenario where you have too much money. There's how much you need, and then any more than that, you know, you could argue whether or not it's too much. And so when it comes to money, it's really hard to imagine that. But when it comes to a clientele, do you know what it looks like to have too many clients? It looks like no days off. It looks like people bugging you every day to fit them in. It looks like it's like the opposite of freedom. And so a lot of these people in the industry that we sort of look up to, they embody this idea of excess when it comes to these things. I have 300,000 followers and I work with this company and I advertise this product for this company, and don't you want to use this product so you can have excess too? And I'm not, let me back up, I'm not knocking the people who have the massive followings or the huge packed clienteles. I'm not saying that it's bad to be one of the people who find yourself in one of those fortunate scenarios, but you know, it's like I constantly need to lose 10 or 15 pounds, 20 pounds right now. And that's not, so I'm not going to look at the guy who's trying to get veins on his abs and say that he's doing something wrong. You know, the fact that he's at such a further level than me, it's not a bad thing, but I would say for me, like where I am right now, obsessing about, I need to get veins on my abs, you know, it's not healthy for me to want that in that way. And, you know, so when it comes to a lot of what we look at on Instagram and at hair shows and things, the people up on stage, the people with the big following, they kind of embody this idea of just excess. Like, I've got so many followers, companies just give me stuff, and I've got so many clients that, you know, and so we tend to look at that and think, well, that's what we need. And then we never draw a line about where our gas tank is full. And, you know, I'll tell you, in my own career, I reached a point where my gas tank, when it came to my clientele, was so overflowing that I was like this close to a nervous breakdown, and I didn't even know it until after I quit all of that and left my salon. And then I realized like just how stressed I was because I had gotten to that point so slowly that I didn't realize it. But I was in a position where if you called to get an appointment with me, oh, you want to get in with Andrew? Yeah, he can see you next month. Like, it was constantly 4 or 5 weeks to get an appointment. It becomes really, really stressful. And so I had that excess. And I know a lot of people who continue to operate in that place where you have too many clients and they're too stressed out. And like their gas tank is just overflowing and it's spilling everywhere and their car's on fire, covered in gasoline. So like, something that I want to urge you to do, and something that I did myself, and it gave me so much peace. Now I just sit out here and chill and relax and maybe sometimes do some YouTube videos. Sit down and do a little bit of math and find out like an actual number. And it doesn't have to be perfectly accurate or exact. It's just a rough number of how many returning clients you have before you have too many clients, before you're booked 5 weeks out and can't take a day off and can't get sick and can't get jury duty and, you know, have nowhere to fit people and they're asking you to squeeze them in. How many people do you have before that starts to happen? Because if our goal is, oh, we need more clients, we need more clients, we need more clients, and we just want that excess that is displayed to us, that idea of like, oh, there's no such thing as too much money, oh, there's no such thing as too many clients, oh, there's no such thing as too many followers. There is. There is a such thing as too much of any of that. I mean, it's really hard to argue the too much money thing. But I can tell you, realistically, you can have too many clients. It is very possible. And if you don't know where that mark is, and you're just like blindly working and sprinting and trying to get more and more and more clients, and you don't know where that mark is where you have too many clients, you're going to end up there without realizing it. And so it's, when you get out of school, and you first start doing hair, you think, I need to get all the clients I can get. I need to get all the clients I can get. I need to get all the clients I can get. And then, like, sometimes you get too many. Sometimes you never quite get there. But it's a big, huge, daunting, scary goal to look at. I need all the clients I can get. Well, how many is that? All of them. Everyone that I can get in my chair. Like, I don't discriminate. I'll take anybody. It's a really scary, difficult goal to look at. It's like me, again, saying I want to get veins on my abs. If you do this math and you figure out how many clients can be in your regular rotation before you don't have any time left in the day, then you go, oh, I need 200 clients. And it's a much more like realistic, digestible, doable goal if you can put that number on it. So I can say for myself right now, and I'm fortunate enough that I've been able to diversify my efforts, and I make a little money teaching and a little money with the product line and a little money here and there. And so I know that for the amount of money I need to make behind the chair, I can get away with working 1 day a week and doing $100 haircuts. And so you have all these figures. Like, okay, if I want to work 1 day a week, and so it's like, how many days a week do you work? How many clients can you do in a day? And then how far out do you want to be booked? So for me, I want to work 1 day a week. I never want to do more than 10 haircuts in a day, like 10 haircuts max. And any less than that, that's cool. So that's 10 haircuts a week I can do. If my average client comes back between 2 and 6 weeks, so we'll just average it to 4, then that's, if I want to be fully booked every Saturday, that's 40 clients, assuming that they're all on roughly the same schedule. And so that's not perfect or exact math, and there's a million little factors and variables in there. Like, some people come in every 12 weeks. I have one client that comes in like almost once a week because he's just like that uptight about his hair being perfect all the time. But just general rough figure, I'm like, I need roughly 40 people. And so when somebody goes, oh my gosh, you charge $100, who do you think you are? That's a ripoff. Side note, everybody is a ripoff to somebody else. But whenever somebody is like, oh, well, I wouldn't pay that, I'm like, it's cool. I only need 40 people who are willing to pay it. And when I started looking at that, I just need 40 clients. That's easy. I've got, going back to the Instagram thing, oh, I need more Instagram followers. I need more Instagram followers. Well, how many do you need? And so if you happen to be in a position where you need 40 clients, and let me back up. My appointments are 1 hour, but let's say you just do these long, detailed color services to where you're doing 2 a day, you might only need 40 clients for you to be fully booked full time without being too booked. So when I say, oh, I only need 40 clients, and you're doing the math and you do $25 haircuts 5 days a week and you want to be booked 3 weeks out, and you're like, oh my God, I need like 350 clients. Like, the math is going to be different for everybody. But, oh my gosh, now I lost track. Forgot where I was going with that. Oh yeah, so I know that I just need my 40 clients and I'm good. And right now I think I probably have like 20 recurring clients on my 1 day a week. And I'm not too stressed about it because I'm like, oh, I only need to find 20 more. Okay, no, now I remember what I was talking about a minute ago. Sorry, you guys just you witnessed me just go full Andrew right there. So going back to the Instagram thing, we think like, oh, I need to have more Instagram followers, and it's like, well, what is your ultimate goal? Like, you want to be comfortably booked, make enough money, but not be overly booked. What do you want to do with Instagram? Well, I want to get more clients. Okay, so now that you have a figure for how many clients is your full gas tank, let's get a figure for how many followers you need to fill that need of your ultimate goal. And granted, like, if you want to do Instagram so you can do like get sponsored and do advertising and travel and teach and all these other things, like, totally different goal, and your number of followers required to do that would be different. But so if the goal is full clientele and you need 40 clients, how many followers do you need to get 40 clients? See what I'm getting at there? So with Instagram, the idea of how many like it always catches people off guard when they reach out to me and go, hey, do you have any tips on how I can grow my following? I always write back now. I say, yeah, how many followers do you need? And they're like, oh, I don't know. Like, nobody ever knows. But I would really urge you to figure that out. When I realized that I currently have actually a lot more followers than I need, I stopped trying to get new followers. I stopped doing like, hey, repost this image and you could win a pair of scissors, and hey, like I stopped trying to get shout outs, and I started to really enjoy Instagram as just a lookbook for me, which is what it started as for me. And then I got caught up in the whole game trying to get more. I need more followers. And then I started watching a bunch of my friends continue to get more and more and more and more. And I look at it and I go, I'm doing what I like to do. And so if I meet you somewhere, if I meet you at a class or a trade show or whatever, if you come in and get a haircut and we're going to start talking about haircut business, one of the first things I'm going to ask you is, how many clients do you need? That is a figure that it needs to be bright and right and in the front of your head and figured out. And you need to know this. And I'm going to ask it like the minute I meet you, like, oh, you saw my Instagram, you follow my Instagram account. Thank you. How many clients do you need? So it should be as real to you as how much does it cost you to fill up your gas tank? And I'm telling you, if you walk around with that figure in your head, and you walk around knowing your business to that level, to how many clients you need, you will have so much peace. You'll stop worrying about trying to get excess. You'll stop worrying about trying to get veins on your abs or trying to get a Ferrari when all you need is a Kia. And you know how much you cost. You know how much you require. You know how much you need. And you get a more realistic idea of who you are. And it's a wonderful thing. I'm not going to lie. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I really rambled and went crazy there. I'm hoping I can get a little more out there and crazy like this in future videos. It's all thanks to the caffeine. But yeah, hopefully this does well. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. And hopefully it's been helpful to you. Check back next week for another.